Peace, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. It is me, Soli, and I'm out here spreading them good vibes, that good energy, and hopefully today you get to feel it too. And now let's jump right into the video and learn something new. Okay, so today I wanted to talk about dragons, as these are the second dimensional beings of my series. I will be talking about 13 dimensional beings. So after this video, I will have 11 dimensional beings to talk about. We just got done talking about angels. So if you haven't checked that out and you're interested in knowing about angels or whatever, then you can go and check that out. But yes, so dragons. What are dragons? We have really have like in a sense distorted image, or like a misinformed when it comes to dragons. Like, we don't really understand the energy of dragons, or we don't really understand their nature, or what they are, or why they are, and things of this nature. Like, it's crazy because we truly really don't really know anything if you think about it, because we human beings, we're still so focused on human history, his story. It's his story. But what I'm saying is, we're so focused on human history that we don't even know our history. But it goes deeper than that, because it's like, once we have realized our history, then you would think, what's next would be the earth history, then the universe's history and things of this nature. But yes, the dragons, they actually tie with Mother Gaia's, well, not Gaia, because Gaia is like the consciousness of the earth, but earth is more like the physical manifestation, the physical representation of earth itself. So the dragons, they actually tie with the creation, the manifestation of Mother Gaia. I said that again. I meant the earth, the physical manifestation, because the dragons were here before the earth physically was here, but Mother Gaia, or the consciousness of Gaia, was always here. As energy is never created nor destroyed, but it's more of like the physical aspect that the dragons brought here. So these are like the dragons of creation, you can call them. Dragons, they are beings of creation. Dragons, they have that ability to create something from nothing. So it is said that dragons are, the energy of dragon is one of the oldest like energy that has manifested in this in the universe, in this local universe, we can say. As the energy of dragon, it comes straight from source. Dragons that have the ability to create something out of nothing, they are, in a sense, like the governors of this physical realm. They govern earth, Mother Earth. They are protectors of the earth. They support earth and things of this nature. In certain traditions and cultures, specifically Chinese traditions, they correlate the ley lines. Well, let me say it this way. Let me rather say this first. Traditionally in China, they believe, or they tie the primordial forces of nature with dragons. They believe that these are forces of dragons, if you get what I'm saying. Like, the force behind it is a dragon, and that is what dragons are. And this is why we believe in this, or rather, let me say this. This is why there have been manifestations of certain dragons who correlate with certain elements, because these dragons, they are beings of elements. But let me also say this, like, dragons, they don't particularly have wings, and they're like the way we perceive them. But the thing about it is, our mind is like an interpreter of energy. So our mind has that ability to interpretate a specific energy, so then we understand it. Or the dragons themselves, they interpreted themselves this way, so then in a sense we have a better understanding of them. But ultimately, dragons are like powerful creations of source. Like, no, they're powerful creators. Let me say that. Like, they have that ability to create something out of nothing because they ascended directly from source, the 12th dimension, the being of all, the creation, the creator, if you get what I'm saying. So the beautiful thing about dragons is they reside at the fourth dimension. The fourth dimension isn't particularly a place because it's like the fourth dimension is more of like the transition to the fifth dimension, I want to say. The fourth dimension is more like time and space, but we know that time is it's a man-made construct. It's not particularly real. So rather, let me say this, it's like the fourth dimension is rather where unity resides, I guess you can say, where it's like the in between from the third dimension to the fifth dimension, because it's at the fifth dimension that we realize that separation is not fact, like separation is illusion. Because you see, we have to let go of these ideas of separation, of fear, and all these lower vibrational frequencies in order for us to ascend to these higher realms. So it is at the fifth dimension where we have learned to let go of these limiting beliefs and things of this nature. And beings of the fifth dimension typically are light beings. They most of the time they are lighter in their body, or they just have more control of the physical. For instance, reptilians. Most reptilians live in the fifth dimension, and like I mentioned in my angel video, like when we say reptilian, don't just group them all as evil, because a lot of us have this ideology that reptilian is evil, but it's like there's actually, just as there are different species of humans, well, not species, but like there are different races and cultures of humans in this existence, there are actually different races and cultures of reptilians too. There are certain reptilians that indeed want to fuck us over, I guess you can say, that want to control us and things of the suppresses and things of this nature. But then there are also other reptilians that actually want to help us. But yes, reptilians, they are ultimately the physical. I already mentioned this in my other video. But yes, they're ultimately governors of the physical. But they live in the 5D, so they have ascended. They have ascended the physical, I guess we can kind of say, and this is why they have that ability to shapeshift. A reptilian can shapeshift. They're known for shapeshifting. They're very good at shapeshifting and things of this nature, and they are masters of genes. They are responsible for fucking with our DNA. Reptilians, they're the ones in a sense who have. And they're one, wow, specific races of reptilians, rather, I should say, are responsible for kind of fucking us over because they have manipulated our DNA, our genes, you know what I mean? But yes, so as I was saying, dragons are creators, so it is said that in the beginning, when Gaia wasn't truly Earth, like it didn't really manifest at a physical level, there resided a dragon. I guess we can call it Draco. And it's interesting because it is also said that we are living in the Draco constellation. Are we not? I think so. But yes, it is also said that we are living in the Draco constellation. But honestly, I'm not like 100% confident with that. But like, yeah, so ultimately it is said that in the beginning there was one dragon. We could call this Draco or whatever. And as it was sitting in the void and of its loneliness, it in a sense created a void. Well, it was already in a void, but I guess we can kind of say created its own personal void. And what it did was, it a dragon in a sense is like a serpent-like being, right? So what had happened was, with its tail in its mouth like this, it created a void, and in the middle of the void, in a sense, was this potential, a potential of creation and things of this nature. But yeah, so it is said that dragons came to this to this place in the universe, and they started to wield and like form the elements. They started bringing the elements of water, fire, earth, air, all of them. They started wielding these into existence. They started wielding it from nothing. And we actually do have the ability to connect with dragons. Dragons are also very powerful when it comes to manifesting, when it comes to wielding your reality, wielding what it is you desire, creating your own reality. As a dragon can answer to you the question of how do you create something from nothing, because they have done this, because they come from source, of course. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's unity. We all come from source. We're all resonating at different frequencies. But yes, so They came here, then they started to wield and shape the physical aspect of Gaia. Like they started I guess we can say materializing the elements, the fire, the earth, the water, and all of these elements into existence until the earth manifested herself. And these dragons are like supporters of earth, of Gaia. They're still here. They are still here, but what had happened was, it was like, once they did their job, once they manifested this earth realm, the dragons, they're more ethereal, I kind of want to say. I don't even know if that's the right word, but they're more high, they're more energetic, but it's like they're energetic, but it's like they're also dense. But I'll elaborate more later. But it's like, so once they materialized this physical earth realm, they ended up resting, they ended up sleeping. And it is said that these dragons are they created the landscape of earth, so like hills and like mountains and things of this nature. These are in a sense like resting dragons. And it is said that it is around these places of like mountains and things of this nature where we can truly feel their energy. And but yeah, so like I said, they are residing at the mountains and things of this nature. It is said that they kind of, once they did their job, they rested, and yes, they manifested into the mountains, like the landscape and things of this nature. It is not by coincidence, that certain landscapes, certain mountains kind of look like dragons, I guess you can kind of say. But yes, it is also said that these dragons are sleeping for the most part, But it's beautiful, because you see, the thing is, these dragons, they're not actually separate from Mother Gaia, Earth, Gaia's consciousness, because it was like once they manifested the physical, they actually ended up joining her consciousness, So they're actually most definitely a part of her consciousness as well. And it's like, we too, have that ability to connect with these dragons, these dragons. And it's like, us living on this earth realm, we all have already connected to these dragons, if we know it or not. But it's just that some of us have a in a sense, deeper connection with these dragons. Like me, for instance, my spirit animal is actually a dragon. It came to me once in a dream, and I was like, I'll share the dream. So look, so I had this crazy dream, right, where it was like, it's weird, because I'm always having these dreams, and like the scene or the setting or like the theme or like the place where I'll just say setting. So the setting is like desert, but it's not just like a desert, but it's like every time I'm in it, I feel like I'm at Mars, because like the energy is hectic, it's very warlike and everything as well. But okay, so in this dream, right, it was kind of like an apocalyptic scene, you can kind of say, right? And I was on a dragon. I was on this kind of like tan gray colored dragon. It had armor and everything on it. But yeah, so I was on this dragon, and I was flying over, and as I was flying over, I was looking below, and there was just chaos and hectic, and it was like there was fire burning and things of this nature, right? And I was up there, and it wasn't just me, but I remembered it was me, but it was also a couple of other beings as well. And these were like, I guess you can kind of say my help. They were my team, they were helping me with the mission. We were most definitely on a mission, trying to complete something. So I was up there, and what I was doing was I was flying on my dragon, but I also had like this thing. Like when I explained to my friend, I told her, like, I think it was like I guess you can say I told her it was like some sort of weapon, it was like an automatic machine gun or something like that. And I was shooting it down. But look, the thing is, this automatic weapon, it wasn't shooting bullets, like metal bullets, so I wasn't really harming anyone, but rather it was shooting light, so I feel like, but yeah, so it was shooting light. It was shooting golden light, like rays of light. So ultimately it was like below, it was an apocalyptic scene, and a lot of the people, they seem like, in a sense, dead. It was kind of like The Walking Dead, but not tremendously, but it was kind of like, I was up there, and to a degree I was like shooting through something like this light, like this light, and it was this golden light. And I guess golden light, to a degree, it can correlate with, like, truth and things of this nature. But yes, I was ultimately shooting this light to help awaken the beings or whatever. But yes, that was the first time when the dragon came to me, and I was just like, holy shit, like, I think my spirit animal is dragon, because it's like I've always had an obsession, with I've always had an obsession. Like, my two favorite animals were always the snake and the bird, but I never really understood, like, why, because, like, to me that just didn't make sense, like, how do I like these dualities, because it's like snakes are on the ground, yet birds are up and above, they fly. And then when the dragon came to me, I was like, that's why, like, it makes so much sense to me now, but so yes, so that was my dream. And then the other time it came to me, I was in a meditation, I was in a meditation, and I don't know if you guys have, like, seen Naruto, or like that one animated show. And it was kind of like that, like, when Naruto, like, first, I guess in a sense, went within, and he tapped the nine-tailed fox that was within him, and the energy was just so immense, and things of this nature. It was the same with me, but it was like I knew that this being was like my support system, but yet the energy was just so intense, like, it was just so intense and kind of dense, I guess you can kind of say. But yes, dragons are known to be also very dense, but like I was saying, in certain traditions, Chinese traditions, typically I'll just say certain traditions, because it's more than just China, but it's like they consider the ley lines as dragon lines, and they do this because, you see, the dragons, they are like the backbone of this physical realm. They are working, like, I guess, in the fourth dimension, or like they are working at a energetic level to sustain this earth, sustain this physical matrix, you can kind of say. And yeah, they're like the backbone, and they're the ones who are they're the ones who are sustaining, this the ley line that allows for this physical reality to manifest. For this physical reality to manifest. Okay, and hold on, let me just think. But like, yeah, they're ultimately like the support system of Mother Gaia. Like, they're here to support her, and God, my mind just went blank. But yes, so there are creators. Dragons are ultimate. They're like, in a sense, they're like source, except source is, in a sense, in one place. But these dragon energies, they're like source, but they have that ability to, I kind of want to say, go to other realms and dimensions, and like help manifest, help create, as, because that's what source does. Source, it forms, and it shapes the, what is this called? It shapes the carpet of creation, so then creation can manifest, can come forth at a physical level, of course. And this is what dragons do. They in a sense are like the governors of the elements, like, whereas fairies and things of elementals and fairies and things of this nature, they're more supporting, they're more of like the support system. Dragons are more like the creators of the elements, as dragons, they have that ability to create these elements. But yes, it's like I was, I recently had I recently had a healing. I think this was like, yeah, it was 2 weeks ago, and I was talking to a friend after the healing or before the healing. I'm not sure, but we were talking about dragons. I was telling her how, like, my spirit animal is a dragon, and yeah, she was just telling me how, like, that's beautiful. Well, she didn't really say that, but I'm just putting words, whatever. But yeah, she was just also just telling me how, like, like, a lot of people's spirit animals are dragons. A lot of people's spirit animals are dragons. And I said that's beautiful. I think that's really beautiful, because you see, the thing about the dragons is they also, they hold within them the light codes, or the DNA codes that are needed for Earth's ascension to the fifth dimension. Like I said, these dragons, in a sense, they're like, they're not separate from Gaia. You gotta understand that. Like, they are not really separate from Gaia, but they were added, but they're not really separate from her, because they merged themselves with her, in a sense. They're kind of like the creative aspect of Mother Gaia. They are it's like at tarot. When you read tarot, it's like they're the magician. They're not really. They're like the potential of creation, if you get what I mean. But to a degree, they are like the third card. Wait, what is that? Fuck, I forgot. But the third card, which is like the card of creation. Honestly, I forgot the name of the lady, the Empress. I want to say. I think, yeah, it's the Empress, right? The Empress. She is like the creator ultimately, and this is what, like, the dragons are. They play both, like, the magician but also the Empress, because they do have that ability to create. And it is said that they came to this earth before it was physical, and they helped bring it forth and manifest it. But they also helped to bring forth these weather patterns that we experience today through the spiraling, through their dancing and their movement and things of this nature. They allowed, and they helped anchor in these weather patterns. This wind that's blowing right now, that might be fucking up my video. I mean, no shade, no shade to the wind. Like, I appreciate all the elements, but damn, really, right now, for real. I'm a Gemini, so I really resonate with the wind. I like it. It's nice, and it feels really good out today. It feels really nice. Really nice. But yes, as I was saying, it's raining too. What? But yes, as I was saying, before I got interrupted, or before I interrupted myself, these beings, yes, they are the support system. They are like the creators of these elements. They kind of govern them, whereas fairies and things of this nature, they kind of are like housekeepers. Or they kind of they kind of help support, whereas the dragons, they are more of the creators, but they also play a role in supporting as well. They also play a role in supporting, of course. But yes, you see, the beautiful thing about dragons, because they have, in a sense, this like eternal connection to, I guess, to a degree. I just want to say, I'll just say to the void, or like to source or whatever. They also have that ability to anchor in higher frequencies, higher information down to this earth realm. They help us receive information from higher dimensions, like that we may not be able to perceive or receive, because we too have that ability to anchor in higher dimensional informations as well. But it's like these dragons, that's one of the roles they play. They play a role in anchor in higher frequencies, higher energies and things of this nature, down to this earth realm. And I guess to a degree, maybe this is why they have the light codes we need to ascend as human beings. Now, the beautiful thing about these dragon energies is they're connected to Earth, Mother Gaia, so you got to understand that by connecting to Mother Gaia, you are indeed connecting to the source. I mean, well, yeah, it's source too, but like you tap into these dragon beings by tapping into Mother Gaia, by grounding yourself, by doing all of these things. But it's like there is levels to this shit, like you are grounded, yes, but there is a deeper groundedness, which would be when you truly tap into the energy of the dragons, as wow, these elements are really, well, they're not fucking with me, but yeah, wow. It's raining out here too, kind of. Sprinkling, rather, I should say. Damn, I feel like this is a bad time to make a video, but I already started, like, fuck. But yes, so they have that aspect of them that anchors higher frequencies down to this earth, and I feel like it's interesting because apples, they manifest in the Garden of Eden, right? Like the apple, it's like Eve, Eve ate like the apple of knowledge or some. She ate from the tree of knowledge, and she ate an apple, right? This is how they correlate it, right? The beautiful and interesting thing is, it's like it kind of manifests like so too when it comes to dragons, because it is said that dragons in a sense are like the protectors, or they're protecting the golden apples, and I feel like this is ultimately corresponding with the fact that they hold our the DNA we need to ascend. Whoa. I hope the wind is not too bad. But yes, they hold what we need in a sense to ascend, Let me see what else is there with these dragon beings. I feel like maybe that's it. Well, we're all connected to these dragon beings, and they're ultimately wanting to help us connect deeper to Mother Gaia, and in a sense really understand what is truly going on in the background. Like, for instance, the dragon lines, the dragons obviously govern these ley lines, or the dragon lines, right? And they want to help us, they want to guide us to these ley lines, because, well, vortexes within the ley lines, because where like the ley lines cross, these are places where there are there is like a vortex is created, and we human beings perceive these as sacred places, right? And this is where like sacred buildings are built, like churches and things of this nature. And I'm pretty sure that the pyramids were also built on these vortexes as well. But yes, it is said that we also have this ability, if we can really tap in and tune into what is going on, then we truly really do have this ability also to tap into these ley lines and utilize them for healing ourselves, as these energies of the dragon is very powerful, you feel me? But yes, it's like don't really get it misconstrued. Like, dragons aren't really these, they're not particularly mythical beings. We have just been made to believe that they're mythical. It's very interesting to me, because it's like what they do is they literally hide the truth in plain sight. Like, they will reveal to you some shit because they know that if you see this on the screens, then you would perceive it to be like fiction, like myth or whatever. So they do all of these things. Like, we are magical beings, we're magicians and things of this nature, but they've created these movies and they've titled them fiction. So then we think that, oh, that's just fake, like we can't do that, you feel me? But in actuality, we are magical beings. Once we tap into that, then we will see, we will see what they were trying to suppress from us. But yes, let me see what else is there. So these dragons, like I said, they reside in certain places around the world. Like I said earlier, once they created the physical, they themselves chose to sleep, in a sense. Sleep, you can kind of say. And yes, that is kind of what's happening. I'm not really that is kind of what's happening right now. These dragons are asleep, but the time is coming closer and closer when they will wake up. Because, like I said, these dragons, they have the light codes, or the DNA codes we need to ascend, So these dragons, they're very close to our dimension as well, so our frequency or vibration, as they are in the fourth dimension and we're in the fifth dimension, you know. So it most definitely is easy for us to connect with them, but on top of that, it's like they affect us at a physical level tremendously. So it is really important that, like, you know, when you are choosing to connect with these dragon entities, which is ultimately Mother Gaia's energy to a degree, but these dragons, they're not like just mixed with Mother Gaia, but they are also a own system, if you get what I mean. Like, they're not Mother Gaia itself, but they're a part of her consciousness because they chose to make themselves a part of her consciousness, you know. But yes, these beings, they're very physical and dense as well. So whenever you're connecting to these energies, or whenever they're trying to connect to you, you will feel dense, you will feel heavy, you know, and blurry vision might occur also. But yes, ultimately, so yeah, keep in mind that, whenever, you know, let's say you go to the mountains, as like I said earlier, mountains might be places where these dragons reside. But dragons, they also correlate with the energy of oceans and seas, you know. They're also there, oceans and seas as well, but they're also in huge mountains and things of this nature, you know. But yeah, so when you're going there, or let's say sometimes, you know, we might, oh shit, thunder. I just seen some thunder, and I guess it caught my attention or whatever. But yeah, wow, what a beautiful video. I just hope that, like, the wind is not making it bad. But you know, I love this energy. Such a beautiful energy. But yes, and I'm talking about the dragons as well. What? Because, you know, it's like the dragons, like I said earlier, they are guys hear that rumbling? They are the ones who, in a sense, set in motion Mother Gaia's or the Earth's weather patterns. It was because of them, and because of, like, you know, the dance of creation, we can say. Because movement is very powerful, you know. It's like when I make these when I go like higher in dimension, then I'll start talking about movement as well, you know, because it's like some beings are so high up there that it's like we kind of need to tap into that spiral energy, you know, that spiral energy with our body, for us to get in tune with them, you know. So like spiraling, moving your body like a ballerina or something like this. When you spiral, what you are doing is you are either descending or ascending energy, you know. But yes, they're very dense. So they when you're connecting with them, they will affect you at a dense level, you know. So it is very important that if you are gonna want to connect with these dragon beings, to cleanse your physical body, you know, because when they are present, when they're around us, they, like I said, they're very dense, they're very physical, and of course we know dragons are huge, right? So of course they're gonna be dense and physical and things of this nature. So they will affect us at a physical level, and we will feel their energy, and most of the time the energy of theirs is gonna feel it's gonna feel heavy, it's gonna feel dense, and it's gonna affect us at a physical level. So toxins, when these dragon beings are in commune with us, they're also in a sense gonna affect the toxins within us as well. So we can potentially get sick, you know, or like just feel like shit if we connect with these dragon beings and our body is toxic. Because what they do is, in a sense, they help you in a sense anchor more into your physical body. So they will amplify and bring forth those toxins, you know. So it's like, before connecting to these dragon entities, you do actually want to cleanse your physical body, and you do, like, maybe do a fast, or like drink a shit ton of water. But yes, dragons are nothing more or less but just support systems of Mother Gaia. They are the creation of Mother Gaia, and I feel like, the night, because there is I guess in mythology, I want to say, or like there's just this famous ideology or like storyline where it's like the knight or the prince goes and slays the dragon. I feel like what this is ultimately saying or stating or representing is like our ignorance when it comes to what we are destroying, our ignorance when it comes to the destruction we are inflicting on Mother Gaia. Like I feel like the knight or the prince slaying the dragon is symbolic to us slaying Mother Gaia, like slaying her energy and doing this and that. So nice, and what's beautiful is like I'm technically capturing this energy because you see there is only the moment, meaning even our pasts are still moments, like they are still existing at a parallel universe. I will make more videos, elaborating on parallel universes, freaking dimensions and things of this nature, because it's all beautiful information that we have sadly been suppressed from, in a sense. It's like, to me, I feel like this technically should be like common knowledge, but today they got us learning things that are unnecessary or like unvaluable to life, things that tap us more into our reptilian mind. Whoa. And it's like we are living in a world where we are being influenced by these reptilian beings. And it is said that the 1%, as we call them, we say that it's this 1% that are governing this whole world or whatever, so like I want to say the Queen of England and all of these other beings of power, they're like the 1%, you feel me? And it is said that these are like reptilian beings, but they're like hybrids of human reptilian, so they're like human but also reptilian. They're like hybrids, if you get what I'm saying. But yes, also reptilians are very good at shapeshifting. You gotta keep that in mind as well. But yeah. So I've covered the fact that let me see, like, if there's any more for me to say, or if that is good enough. But yes, guys, I hope but yes, thank you for watching. I hope this was informative. I hope you enjoyed. If you did like, please don't forget to leave a like below, subscribe, and please do share. Thank you. And like I say, namaste. Now I'm gonna go dive into the wind.